The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio. Here we go. Hey, it's Missy K. Hey, it's Missy K. Her beauty and passion, talk music, passion, loose lips, red cup, love Jones. She's always on Facebook, Instagram, taking calls on the telephone. Sexy if you say so. It's the Missy K Show.
Girl Hailey B. Welcome to the MSCK show. Now let's introduce the ladies of Loose Lips tonight. So start from the left. To the left.
Good evening. I'm Lady Deez.
To the left, to the left. Oh, shoot. Oh, and I'm LaLa. Hey, how are you?
Hello, I'm joining these lovely ladies tonight, Nikki Lachey.
Nikki.
Special guest. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Absolutely, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
LaLa.
Yes. Oh, right just into me. Yes. Just no pause. Look, hey, let's go. Get this thing taken care of.
Let's do this.
Okay, first on the list, the Super Bowl was horrible. Just want to say that. The Saints should have been there, but it wasn't. But it was horrible. Okay, we're going to move on.
Another Saints fan.
Yes, it was horrible. Did you see it?
I'm surprised you didn't go
13-3
to the-
over.
to
I don't
the
want to talk about it no
parade.
more.
It was not horrible.
You didn't-
It was horrible.
The
Don't wanna talk about it no
anti-Super
more.
Bowl parade.
And talk about it no more.
Y'all boycott.
Yes.
Yeah, I still stand with Cap, so, you know.
You feel
I
me?
did something more
Because
productive.
I wasn't
yeah.
watching Super Bowl.
Whatever
Yeah,
you
I
say.
knew hey, look.
Whatever.
I'm good.
Was it worth it?
No, not at all.
Well, it was fine because my team wasn't in anyway. So I
Yeah,
didn't
she was
care.
gone a long time
I
ago.
watch
We beat her
recaps.
team. Yeah.
I watch like
I'm
previous
sorry, we
Super
gonna move
Bowls.
along.
Ooh, she came
Okay.
for your team.
Now I
For the
know.
first time, and she got to talk that trash.
She came for your team.
Wow, and it still end up at home. Get out of here. Wow.
Okay, so we're gonna move along now.
Yes, you better.
Liam Neeson, y'all know who he is?
Yes.
The star from Taken. And you know what? I actually liked him prior to all of this stuff that's going on now. He has a lot of good shows. I got a lot of good movies. A lot of good movies.
He's very talented.
Yes, and this is the one his wife died, and I guess she was in an accident, and she died in her sleep. Enough about that. So he has an interview.
Yes.
And there's a topic that comes up about one of his good friends.
Okay.
The topic goes like, okay, so I have this good friend and she was raped.
Yeah.
So he was interested, like, what's going on? Did you tell anyone? Do you know who he is? What happened? She was like, no. Do you know what he looked like? Yes, he was a black guy. That's what she said. He was a black guy. We've heard this before. So his reaction to it was immediately, okay, I was pissed. So for a whole week, I went out looking for a black, he said the B word, not a bitch, but a bastard. So he didn't care who it was. As long as it was a black man, he was out to get him. And he was hoping that a black man would approach him and said anything or did anything, that it was his opportunity for him to kill a black man because his friend was raped.
Was it any black man?
Any.
Or he was like specifically targeting black men until he found the one that
He was
raped
not
his friend?
looking for the man that
Yeah.
raped her. He was looking for a black
Yeah.
man that approached him. Not him going to that person. He wanted that black man to come towards him to give him a reason to kill him. And that's what he said, to kill him.
Yeah. He also admitted that there was some kind of that situation helped him realize that there was obviously some deep-rooted racism within himself, and he said he went to get help for it. So it's like
on one side of the spectrum is like, man, you're not. You look at this very talented person who everybody loves and adores, and then he admits something that's really atrocious. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, do we respect the man for being transparent about where he was at that time and taking the initiative to actually get help and say, yo, I'm messed up. I actually have feelings. I actually legit was willing to kill somebody, even if they were innocent. Could have been any of our brothers or fathers, right?
I think I respect him for being able to be man enough to say, I had racist in me, so I went to go get help. At least he got help for it, and he didn't continue to bash black people. I honestly did think that when he said that the black, this black bastard, excuse my language, I thought that he was saying it in a sense like, I'm gonna find this man who did this to my friend, because how many of us have said like, oh, I'm gonna beat that white dude up because he did this, because he said that, blah, blah, blah. And it's vice versa. Like, how many of us have been in situations where we have did something with a white person and they offended us, like, oh, that black dude did this, oh, that white dude did that, And it's not.
Well, I think the difference with us, I think we just go after the person who did the crime. We don't get everybody and say, okay, I want every white person that did this, regardless on if you're guilty or not.
Well, that's in some instances. So how do you justify the men who are angry with police officers for killing blacks, and they just go out and kill policemen?
Right. Yeah, I think that's the key point. Right. We may use the adjective white, but I think the roots are different. Yeah. One group is the oppressor, one group is the oppressed. Right. And I don't like to use that in current sense, but that's just the historical content. Right. So like when somebody isolates black or isolates another quote unquote minority group, there's usually something else behind it. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whereas with black people, we usually just like, man, that white, that Indian dude, it's just usually just coming out as a descriptive.
Right. Yes, it's still sad. I know he has a movie that's coming out, and I don't think they're going to be able to promote it the way that they thought they were.
But I think that's sad because he manned up, and because he didn't have to say anything.
He didn't.
We were in a time where everybody's sensitive about everything.
But that's the problem. We're too damn sensitive, and it's like when you have people who are trying to do the right thing and trying to get help, and to make things better, and they're verbalizing it, they're coming out. And know they jeopardizing themselves and their careers and whatever. Right. Give them a break. Yeah. I mean, come on, seriously.
I definitely agree. He did man up, and that's the biggest part. And I think people are missing that. That's what's odd to me. I think people are missing that he's saying, I was wrong for this.
Exactly.
So I had to get help.
I missed all of that.
I don't think he's racist at all. But you know what I think may be funny? Kevin Hart just got over his whole situation, and his whole thing was, man, I've changed. It happened years ago. Exactly. And so I'm wondering if people are going to try to use this Liam situation and this Kevin situation to say, oh, see, black people, it's okay when a black person does it. They want us to forget it.
I feel
totally
like people
different.
don't ever see... Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, not to, because we
can
keep on going and it go on. I want to go
hot topics.
We're going to go back. Sorry about that.
We're on time.
But with the presidents and everybody running for the presidents and all the immigrants and stuff like that. 21 Savage, did you guys know? Like, he's from the UK. So he was here when he was, 6? And then he was brought here.
He was brought in when he was 12 in 2006.
Okay, 2006.
That's what it 6 is.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, it's okay.
Thank you. But what happened was he did not. The visa was expired and he didn't go and fix it. And then he also has a felon.
Didn't he say that?
ICE, yes, he has it. He thought because it was sponged.
Oh, that's
that
right.
No one would know about it, but it doesn't apply when you're dealing with ICE. So because he has
he wasn't a legal citizen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now they're working on the papers to get him.
I'm just like, where's that accent though? I just left Atlanta last year. I'm like, where's the accent?
His mama got it. His mama got it. You hear his mama? His mama got it. She got it.
Right. He came in when he's very young. So when you around so many people, I mean, and you have a desire to not sound.
Yeah, that took intent. That took definite intent and training.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Not just being responsible though. You just can't take your life like just as simple like nothing is going to happen to me. You get so far up at being a celebrity that okay, I'm untouchable. No, you're not.
I thought he was trying to fix it since 2017. He's been
He applied.
Yeah, he's been applying for
so he could
applications.
become a part of DACA.
Yeah.
That it's sad. They're picking up celebrities. So really need to get.
He made America a lot of money. I don't know. I think they're going to resolve that pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't know who he pissed off.
A lot of people rallying behind him. Right. A lot of big stars.
I heard Tekashi snitching.
Maybe. Yeah, Jay-Z has
how did people know? He just out here making money, doing concerts with his Atlanta accent.
Somebody said something. That's normally how it always happens.
Somebody off.
By the way, hey.
Look, he go, I go.
If this video ever
everybody got
if this video ever surfaced to Tekashi, look, don't meet me, bro. Don't meet me.
Right.
We can't do business together. Period.
Right.
I don't got time to get switched on and locked up.
Exactly.
How you make your money?
So now we gotta, talk about some other stuff. It's always some death that's going on, and it deals with our black men in the community. Christophe St. John. Oh, yeah. You're young.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't.
You don't know, but when he was playing, he played in Young and the Restless, and I've watched that. Like, I watched it all the time.
I don't think he was on there when I was watching.
No?
He's too young.
That was 1991? Because that's when he got on there.
I wasn't watching soaps during that time.
No, I was. It was good.
I was working.
But his son died. Actually, he committed suicide. He committed suicide 5 years ago. Wow. And he was in a mental hospital when it happened. He actually sued the mental hospital.
And he should have.
Yeah, they did sue. But he never got over it. Mm-hmm. Never got over it, dealing with it. And I know they found him in his home on Monday. So they did autopsy. They didn't say what it was. But when I read about everything that was going on with him, he just did not get over the death of his son. His son was like 24.
That's hard.
Exactly alike. And it's so, so sad that we do have a lot of our men, black men period, that go through a lot of different things with mental health. And sometimes they wait too long to get help, or some just don't get help at all.
Because they're too dang macho,
Right.
They don't want to seem weak.
But then even now with women not looking at you a certain way if you express your feelings. Remember we had a discussion? Oh, I don't want you to tell me you love me. Oh, I don't want you to cry. I don't want you to express this. So they have to bottle it all in. And then when they keep bottling it in and not get help, then this is what's happening. Absolutely. So that's why I said it is very healthy to allow or say it's okay to express yourself about how you feel and be able to talk.
Because women see men like that as being weak.
Yeah.
They do, because it's like they come off as being whiny, clingy, to want attention, instead of, kind of stepping back and looking at it. Is there something else deeper going on here?
Right.
That's why it's important to not get in relationships when you're grieving and when you're dealing with things. I think that the most important thing is self-love.
Right.
Get yourself in order, get your heart and health in order. Then when you are whole, go in love. Because you're right. And it's okay to be weak, actually. Right. It's okay for people to be weak, but process it, be honest, so you can be strong again. And, his job, being in Hollywood ain't easy when you're dealing with stuff.
All day, every single day.
Yeah, and you're dealing with different types of personalities, different levels of authenticity.
Right.
So I can imagine that just didn't help at all.
Right.
And people aren't coping. They're not coping. Mm-mm. They're not mourning. They're not grieving.
They're not. Exactly.
We're not really expressing our emotions at this point. So
it's almost like we don't have time to. Like how I was talking about what we were doing. Exactly. It was so many things going on. Even with it was just death after death after death. And you continue to work, and not be able to sit back and absorb exactly what was going on. So that happens a lot. Yeah. So, our prayers are with the family and with anyone that's out there that's actually going through mental health. Please just get the help. Sometimes you just need a hug. Like a real hug, and say, you know what, it's going to be okay.
And check on your strong friends.
Yes,
check on each other.
Definitely. Yeah. So, last little topic that I have, which talks about, with men and what they go through, Bow Wow. So he got into it with his on and off again girlfriend. The one,
first world problem.
Right. So it shows him being beat up. She looks fine. But as I look at all of the comments, I look at all the comments and they're laughing. Like, they're laughing at him because he got all these scratches. Or maybe, like, did you want him to fight her back? So it's like, it's okay.
They only laughing at bro because, like, that, okay, because I'm not saying it's okay to laugh at somebody who's been domestically, abused in a relationship, period. But the way that Bow Wow was set up, it's what you give off to a person that is what you receive.
And that's the thing. It's still not okay.
It's not.
Because if it was her face that looked like that, they would have tore
he
him
would be in jail.
down. Right. They would have tore him down because he did not fight. When we don't know, but just by looking at it and the reaction, it's not okay.
It's not.
So it's called hashtag him too.
Yeah. Yes. Well, here we go. There we go.
Let's be real. I think that people just clown because it's Bow Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's what
He's been the butt of the joke for a while.
And
I hate that because that man actually may be going through depression in a way.
He definitely might be.
You know what I mean? And so I'm right there with you.
Right.
Like we would go crazy if it was the other way around. Would you want him to prove it? Prove he can beat up? Like
right.
I mean, he did say
what happened
she
to Chris
hit
Brown?
first.
That's crazy.
He said she hit first, and they said she only beat him up because he was pressing her about some dude in the phone. Why are you pressing her about some dude in her phone?
That's what they do that. Hey, it happens. This is your girl LaLa. You can find me on MSCK Loose Lips Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm everywhere. And up next, that's the beautiful Lady D with Kissable Nights and Dating After 50.
Be right back.
Be back.
Kissable.
Living that fast life. 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 Fast life. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. Every day stressing cause them bills gon' come. Up in the morning way before the sun. Hustling, grinding, making moves for this paper. Feeling pressure for time so I can sleep later. Red in my eyes, Lord, I know I'm tired. Working 3 jobs but I've got more inside. Do you understand how hard that I try? Yeah, living that fast life. 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 I'm living that fast life. Living that fast life. Oh, I am living that fast life. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. You know how hard it is waking up at 5 when you went to bed at 3. Then your phone rings. And now it's 6:30, but your bus left at 6:15. Oh, and don't the rain feel good at the bus stop? You're standing at the bus stop, but it don't stop. Then you start running and you don't slow down, cause you got big dreams and can't stop now. Living that fast life. You're living it. I'm living that fast life. Yeah. Oh, living that fast life. Can you feel me when I say it? Living that fast life. Oh yeah. Living that fast life. Oh, that fast life. Living that fast life. That fast life. Sing it one more time. Oh yeah. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. You're living that fast life. Living that fast life. We're living. They're living that fast life. That fast life. Living that fast life. Oh yeah. Living that fast life. Oh yeah. Living that fast life. 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 Oh.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back.
Yes.
This is Kissable Nights, and I am Lady D's.
Lady.
Wait. Shout out to Sheldon. I love you. Okay, go.
Really?
Yes. Let's go.
Anyhow, listen. Let me before I start, let me just say this. I am a Christian. I have a relationship with God, and most of us do. I say that because we don't talk about it a lot on the show. And it's not because we're not believers, but that's just not what the show is about. we have to be earthly relevant, as well as spiritual. Right. And this just happens to be the earthly realm and not the spiritual. However, I had someone ask me a question as it relates to Christian dating. And they want to know, how do I feel about Christians being unequally yoked? Yoked.
Can you explain what that is, please? Can you define equally yoked?
But that would pertain like Christian or non-Christian. You want to be with somebody who's your equal.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It basically says that we, as Christian individuals, we should not even be dating anyone who is not a believer. Right. Who does not believe the same things that you believe. Right. Because if you do, it does eventually cause problems. In most cases, there are always exceptions. But that means that somebody's going to have to do a lot of compromising in order for it to work. And then, But anyway, the Bible speaks about us as Christians not being unequally yoked. And yet and still today, men and women, they get in these relationships and they know that their partner does not believe or are not sure. They go into these relationships thinking that they're strong enough and they can save this person, and that's really not your job in the first place. If you're friends and you're working with your friends and you're trying to help get your friends saved, and you're talking to them periodically about God, I think that's one thing. But going into a relationship expecting to change someone, I believe, is a big mistake. And you end up in this horrible relationship, and then once you get in, then you want to get out, and so then you have the church people telling you that you can't get out unless he messes up or she messes up, that you're pretty much stuck. Well, I'm not going to talk about that, but... That's a big word.
That's a big word. Stuck.
No, but seriously. But I'm just saying, so do either one of you think that a marriage, seriously, based, not what I'm saying, but basically, do you think that a relationship where one person is a believer and the other one is not, or the other one person believes in God but the other person believes in Buddha or Muslim or whatever, do you think that they can have a successful relationship?
Tolerable. Like it's like an agreement. It's like, like as long as we have an understanding. But when you talk about intimacy, we are one, like really bonding. Right. No, I think that it extends beyond religious beliefs. I think it extends to core values. I think it extends to like how we communicate, like equals. We got to be on par.
I never, in my relationships, I ask one question. What is your religion? And what their religion is their religion. I don't really continue it as far as, do you go to church? Do you do this? Do you do that? Because usually my relationships don't really last that long. So I don't really focus on politics or religion in my relationships. Because what if it ruins what we have? Like, the bigger aspects of what we have.
But if it ruins it, then you don't have anything.
That too. Right. And then I feel like if I do eventually in time maybe marry a man, nobody take note of this because I might not. Probably. If I do eventually marry a man, I'll only marry a man of my religion, Christian. Because if we go to a therapist and therapist not working, I'm going to be like, we're going to take it to God. Let's do this. And I don't want to be in a situation where he's like, I don't believe in God. Right. I don't want to be in church. I don't want to do this. Then how is this going to work? If we can't do the therapist and we can't do this through God, then and we got married with our vows committed to God, what are we doing this for?
And another bigger problem is that, especially when you're young and you don't have children, when you decide to have children, how is that child going to be raised?
Exactly.
And God forbid that the man is the one that is not saved, because they have in the Christian families, the man is the head of the family.
Right.
And how can a man be the head of your family if he does not believe in God? Exactly. Because you're supposed to be following your husband, and you can't really follow your husband unless he follows God, because otherwise it's not going to be a healthy relationship.
Right.
Because again, I know there are exceptions. There are some good guys out there who don't believe in God,
And still do carry their family as well.
But when it comes to how you raise your children and what he expects of you, if he does not interfere with what you're doing in your relationship with God, that's one thing. That comes the tolerating, you know, where he has to do a lot of tolerating. But when it comes down to the brass knuckles, it does matter.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, I hear about Muslim and Jewish, like I've heard, like seen documentaries on it, but it just doesn't seem like a fulfilling marriage.
Right.
Like it seems like very limited in relatability. So I don't know.
And you know what I think? I think a lot of times when you get in those kind of relationships, it's just people wearing titles.
Right.
Because if you are practicing your belief and you're trusting in what you believe in, there's no way it can be that smooth sailing.
Right.
I agree.
Unless we're both just wearing titles. And I know a lot of people, they claim to be Catholic. They're Catholic because that's where their parents took them when they were kids.
Right.
They have not died at the door as an adult. But yet still they are Catholic.
Right.
And they want to live by Catholic principles and want you to do the same thing. You know, stuff like that. And well, not so much the Jewish people, because most of them are fairly true to their religion.
Right.
But
the crazy thing, I've dated men who believed but wasn't in church every single day, every Sunday. I mean, they believed it didn't interfere with me. I believe I have a lot of things that I need to understand. That's my thing. My mom was never like, okay, you need to do this. This is how we're going to live. She was more like, whatever you're going to follow, you need to understand what you're following. And it has to be right for what you do and how you live. And the men that I dealt with, I don't bring up the religion part. I want to know how you are with me and how you are with yourself, how you treat me and how you are, how you live, you know, how you take care of everything around us. And it works. Now, how you are with women, you can be praising the Lord every single day and be a cheater. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't define how our relationship is going to be, whether you're in church or not. So it never comes up with me.
That's not me. That was just my name.
It's just, it's like I know men who are the head and are really good men and that don't go to church. And there's a guy that I know who don't believe. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. He said because his dad never pushed it. His mom did what she needed to do, and they're still married. And this guy that I speak of, he's been married. He's been married forever. I guess he says they understand each other and respect each other. And what they feel, how they're raising their kids, they're raising them together. She allows him to do what he needs to do and stand by him and vice versa. But it's never a conflict. But then you have someone that's, oh, no, if you don't believe, then you're not a good man. And he's like,
well, no, it's not a matter of not being a good man. And I said that there are a few exceptions. There are some good men who do not believe in God.
Right.
But if you believe, you need to be with a believer.
Right.
Or you should be with a believer. If you truly believe and you have a relationship with God, that's the difference.
Right.
If you don't have a relationship with God, then you can settle for whatever.
Right.
That's you.
Maybe it depends on what you want, like what's important to you, too. Like, some people are kind of over even the aspect of relationship, but they just want companionship and they want consistent companionship. So they do end up in these like arrangements.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's this new thing about with married couples living in separate houses. And sleeping in separate rooms. So, like, that's very non-traditional. But then they're seeing success. And then, of course, people say that polyamory is, like, age old. But there's a resurgence in a more, like, modern form. And it's becoming more acceptable. Like, it's being promoted in our rap culture.
Right.
Girl, look, whatever you want. It's your life.
But
all them
I was like, whoa.
No. He can live like, it could be the house, the neighbors, and then my house. I could be walking down, they could be like, hey, Mrs.
taking
Smith,
care
goes
of
to your
both
husband's
What's
house.
important to you? You need time. You need money. Do y'all need to pray together? Some people don't.
I just want to be able to stay
We can
home
pray
and not
for
work.
one.
Let me
I'm
tell you.
still working on that.
If you have a real relationship with God,
Yes.
key word,
Right,
a relationship with God, you're going to want
a man
who has a relationship with God, because there are two different levels.
Right.
There are two different levels. You know, I'm not talking about friends that just don't care, you know, and they just want to be with somebody. Some people, even like Christians, it's like they meet these people and then, you know, how you have these sparks and there's all this passion going on and stuff. And then they want to try to make decisions about the relationship in the midst of passion and all this stuff. It can't work that way.
Can't do that.
Those are things that need to be decided. First of all, before you leave home to go meet bruh, man, or sister. Right. You need to already have in your mind what you want. Right. Comment? I am. Oh, Lord.
She on the pulpit, y'all.
No, I was wondering about trying to make
a point.
This has been Lady D's. And thank you for joining us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have
sassy. Ooh, I like
Hailey B and get lipped, whatever.
Come on, rush her. She was making a point.
Whatever.
All righty. Yeah. Let's go. Come on. It's your boy, Young OG. I'm back for the first time. I'm in search of a place I can go where it's easy to rest. Living carefree, ain't never no stress. A place real nice, everybody bring love. A place where there's no such thing as a gun. Everybody spread hugs, greet you with love. Ain't nobody sitting there trying to mean mug. A trip to the moon only costs $3. Holler back at me, cause that's what's up. Not a place that I speak of, well, let me see. Every day it'll be about 70 degrees. No wind chill, just a pretty nice breeze. Drinking out of coconut, sipping iced tea. Everybody be free, cause ain't no prison. We recognize God and it's all one religion. Feel good about life, feel good about living. Walk with me now if you share the same vision. Walk with me
to another place and a time. Hating on P, you just wasting your time.
Talk with me.
I'm trying to show hood niggas growth, two sides to every tale. I'm just trying to show you both.
Ride with me
to the sky with the seats laid back. I'm just trying to shine until my picture fade black.
Slide with me
through the hood, it's all good like.
I'm trying to find me somewhere where I could go chill. Don't gotta stress nor worry about bills. And people ain't still fighting over colors. Everybody know we supposed to be brothers. Ain't no reason to hate one another. And people are for real when they tell you they love you. No world hunger, everybody eating. People read books, don't nobody watch TV. Trust and believe me, somebody help me. Every single baby that's born is born healthy. The government officials don't cater to the wealthy. I'm real satisfied with the hand life dealt me. Searching for where we could go like an island. Gas prices only 10 cents a gallon. Listen up, homie, my thoughts are valid. Let's stand united at the top of the mountain, walk with me
to another place and a time. Hating on P, you just wasting your time.
Talk with me.
I'm trying to show hood niggas growth, two sides to every tale. I'm just trying to show you both.
Ride with me
to the sky with the seats laid back. I'm just trying to shine till my picture fade black.
Slide with me
through the hood, it's all good like. So
I'm trying to journey to a place where we all got it made. Everyone unique, you don't need a last name. The home team never gonna have a bad game. And why don't we remove the existence of pain, the existence of rain? Take a picture and frame, scratch through the surface to get to the grain. Every day different, never be the same. I could tell you what it is, I could tell you what it ain't. No police brutality, no racism, no military. I'm okay with it, no cemetery with no graves in it. We all live forever and we all handle business. Can I get a witness? It was what it was. We high off life, not high off drugs. Keep it like that, cause we high off love. Walk with me now as we do what we does. Walk with me
to another place and a time. Hating on people, just wasting your time.
Talk with me.
I'm trying to show hood niggas growth, two sides to every tale. I'm just trying to show you both.
Ride with me
to the sky with the seats laid back. I'm just trying to shine till my picture fade black.
Slide with me
through the hood, it's all good like. It's all good.
Back with Hailey B.
Crazy.
And get lit.
That's how you do it?
Yes. Got too much lip gloss on. My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is cool. I guess we jacking.
Okay, we get the message.
Bacteria all on the microphone.
Goofy self.
You feel me?
Box.
I'm about to go back and pop and lock it. How y'all doing? No? Okay. No.
You're funny. Okay.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, let me ask you this. What generation are you, to be clear?
I think that I'm a Gen X. They have millennials and they have Gen X. Maybe I'm a millennial.
What
I'm
year?
in my 20s, so 26.
That's how old you are?
Mm-hmm. You're not
millennial.
Gen X then.
You can't be one of us.
Right.
You can't sit with us.
Right.
Look, you really don't want to be.
No.
Look, but my bills is like 35. So like my bills is 25. My trials and tribulations about 54. So, so just add all that together, take the average. I'm approximately 36 and a half. Wow. What's next?
Right. You're one of them.
No. She said 54. That ain't mean.
She said 36 and a half.
I had to
36. Okay,
did the average.
I'm not taking no 54. But go ahead.
But we stay fine. Like we age like vampires. Yes. So hey,
Yes.
Black don't crack. That's what you tell me. Hey,
right. That's what the word is on the street.
You see her? Look at her. Hey, sexy.
Yes. The bedroom eyes.
Her ain't crack.
Her ain't not
so
that big.
Graham cracker. She crack all the grandmas.
I know that's right, boy.
Close up on that mocha skin.
You feel me?
Right, like
chocolate mocha.
Moment of silence for the timeless.
Too funny. Crazy.
Y'all crazy.
Go ahead.
Go on, talk to that woman over there with her crazy
Shout
self.
out to the Angela Bassett's of the world
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. Somebody from Mississippi, please stand up.
What is the boss trying to say?
I don't know. What is she saying? We upside down?
He is upside down.
Is it?
Why did y'all tell me that?
Girl, we in the upside down. We ain't no stranger things.
Oh, they are trying to tell me.
Why she cancel out?
Wait a minute.
They are trying to tell me.
You can exit the whole app.
Resume.
There we go.
You guys need to shout next time.
Shout.
One of y'all that I know is watching not even say nothing.
Yes, because you can hear them.
I ended it. I'm sorry. Just watch on emissik.com.
Shit.
I'm sure it's out there.
That's funny.
Hey, is that website set up yet? Is it set up?
Right,
it's up and running?
We ready, go.
Let's go.
I'm from Jackson. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, y'all. And I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm Southern all the way.
Yes.
Southern girl.
Yeah.
Southern.
Yep.
And so did you start acting first or dancing first?
Ooh. I actually started writing first when I was 7 years old.
Music,
Seven.
writing, what?
Yeah,
What were you writing?
I was writing poetry.
Wow.
And I had my first published poem when I was 7 years old. It was called A Tree is a Tree. I'm sure my mom still has it, but she won't let me keep any of my accomplishments. And so I'm sure it's in there somewhere. It's called A Tree is a Tree.
A tree is a tree.
And I won something for that. And
Do you
then it
remember
got
it?
published. I just remember the first.
You remember your own art?
A tree is a tree you can climb on. And then I don't remember the next few lines, but then I know it's like a tree is something, so please don't cry. So I got 2 lines, but it was very short.
Right.
It was about 8 to 10-ish. Anyway,
cool.
It was very profound for like a 7-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking on a deeper level and a higher frequency than the rest of them little 7-year-old bastards.
Man.
So I deserved that award.
Were you 7 or 7 turning 8? Because you was up there.
I was up there mentally, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Like, you was on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it was a whole nother level, you know what I'm saying?
Like, forget multiplication. I got this writing stuff. Look.
Right. I was spitting all that wisdom to my teachers in the elementary school. But yeah, so
is a tree.
it was
Oh my God.
with that face though, and the energy and the slow protraction. You gotta let them feel it. Right. So music and then writing and then music. I picked up my first instrument when I was 9 years old.
What instrument?
Clarinet.
What?
And then I picked up guitar when I was 16 and piano when I was 14.
What instrument are you best at playing?
Clarinet, because I had to play it every day.
Every day.
And I had to play scales and stuff every day in competitions. Whereas piano, I was just like, next. Oh, Britney Spears.
Did you ever put like 2 and 2 together, like play the clarinet and then do your poetry? Like, a tree is a tree.
Not yet, but I'm thinking about reviving it. So whoever's hosting open mics in LA, and y'all want to see like my original poem and my clarinet, I'll bust it out, because I'm trying to set myself apart from all the other LA talent.
Right.
Who else played clarinet and wrote about a tree? Tell me tell me. Get on live right now. And if you wrote a poem about a tree, let me know. None of y'all. Best 5 poet clarinetists of all time. Nikki.
Stop playing.
Nikki.
I'm gonna write a whole poem.
Nikki.
I'm gonna write a whole poem. I'm gonna beat your trees a tree poem. Stop playing with me. I'm gonna throw a couple oranges on that tree. We got the best oranges in Lakewood.
You done evolved past me. Hey. You have evolved. Yeah. Anyway, that was intense. We got passionate right there. Yeah. We're gonna have to co-create.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down. Me and my sister were singing today. Brittany, this girl scared of the cat.
So am I.
Brittany, look, me and Brittany went in the music room and we sang a little bit with my friends. We sounded good. I gave myself goosebumps. I was like, who?
You ready?
She gave herself goosebumps.
You already got a studio right here. Hit us with a little piece that you did.
No.
Oh,
Damn.
Soon. I'm gonna sing the tree song. Look.
Yeah. I need a background vocals. But yeah, so
I could do background. Yeah.
Cool.
Show.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this more.
I got you. For the next episode, we're gonna have that tree song ready for y'all. It's gonna play during break. All right, cool. But Hailey B and Nikki Lachey. That's a cool little group. You feel me?
Duo.
I felt that.
Please.
Oh my God.
So after the trees and the clarinets and the pretty blue skies, so where did you go from there?
So, yep. So it was like writing and then music, and I played all those instruments, and then I was an athlete. I was just doing anything to not go home.
Athlete.
And so
because you're so busy.
Yeah, man, you want to go home?
No. I don't even know if
I love
answer
that.
Look at that.
Childhood trauma, anybody?
Anyway, school program.
That's another show. Anyway,
remember that feeling when the moment your mama walked in the door, your heart just dropped?
When you know you did something and you know she know?
You feel me?
Right, but y'all haven't discussed it yet.
You feel me? Like
you
it's about
like,
to come.
Okay.
And you hear that little wish, the little.
Yeah.
I went to your door, and then that little. I'm about to get it.
Yeah. No,
they done it now.
I was a different type of child, though.
Wait, she knocked?
I was trying to reason.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You was what? Trying to read?
I never said who it was. I knew who it was. Boom. What's up?
I'd be trying to negotiate. I would either be perfect or I would try to negotiate and have a very valid reason why.
She wasn't trying to hear it, bro.
But then I'll still get whipped because, you from the South and no explanation is ever necessary.
That's right.
She wasn't trying to hear it, bro. Maybe afterward. Like, after she asked all her rhetorical questions and I wasn't allowed to speak. And then she'd be like,
right.
I'm
Shut
talking
up.
to you.
Stop crying.
Oh, okay. This is my time to shine. You feel me? Look.
So let me ask you, Nikki. So it appears you're involved in a lot of stuff.
Oh,
you do a lot of things, and it looks like you do a lot of things well. You've been recognized for a lot of things.
Thank you.
But which one, out of all those things, if you had to pick one, which one would actually be your passion?
Okay, so what I do now is I act, and I'm a new writer. And so I've been acting after I grew up in the arts, right?
Yes.
But I worked as a professional dancer and a model, kind of like in high school. And then I went on to study film and theater in college. And then I actually took that on as a career. Okay. It was the most free I ever felt in my life.
Good.
I was able to express myself with no limitations. Like my body had limitations when I was dancing. I can't sing, even though I love it. I still try one day. And then I don't know. I think I got tired of music because I was doing it for so long. I didn't want to feel obligated anymore to perform a concert or whatever. I just wanted to create. And acting, you get to shift. You get to shape shift all the time.
Right.
There's nothing you can't be. Right. And so I fell in love with that. And that's what I do now. And I create on stage and on set. And then I wrote my own feature film.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of great news coming up with that.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So with you moving from Mississippi to Atlanta, and to LA, how did your career go? Like, how was it? Was it harder to make it bloom from where it was, or?
I think that you have to follow your path of growth, right? So I started in Atlanta. That's like my second home, aside from Jackson, Mississippi, and it got to a point where I just needed growth, and I got the opportunity to grow somewhere else, which was Los Angeles. And although I'm still navigating my way here, it's been amazing. Like the rooms that I've been in, the hands that I've been shaking. I did a spot with Viacom and Awesomeness TV last year that actually served my charity, Help for the Holidays. And so that's a huge network platform that featured something that I'm passionate about. That's, even though it's outside of acting, it's still purposeful. And it has still allowed me a platform, and it allowed something that came of me a platform. And that's just in my first year of being here.
Wow. Where does all your passion source from? Like, where does it come from?
Oh, man. I think that when anyone taps into a passion, it comes from a place of, I don't want to say lack, but I think that once you understand, like for instance, love. If one person has never felt love and then they've kind of healed from that, navigated through it, I think that they go through their life almost wanting to give it so that everybody knows what it feels like. I think that innately human nature wants to do good deeds. And I think that when we tap into our passion, it always is in service of the world. And because of that, it serves ourselves, as individuals. So my passion just happens to be a medium that's a universal language. So through my art, I've healed myself in ways. I've offered myself such therapy. And then I also offer that same thing to people who are watching and who, like, when I'm in the lobby after a stage play, then they're crying, saying, oh, my God, this, that, and the other. I mean, there's nothing better than that, than knowing that you just told somebody's story, that probably couldn't tell their own or have a voice,
To what extent do you believe in love?
Oh, relentlessly.
That's my girl.
Relentlessly. Love
Take
is
a page.
Everything.
Tear a page
Love
out that
is
book.
everything. And here, love is okay.
We'll be back. This is getting lit. What?
Where's the stuff?
I don't want to zoom in on that.
See that right there? Push. Get in your zone.
Wait.
And...
Oh, God. Oh, shit. Oh, hell no.
Well, Caps,
Yep.
you were Holly Berry's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you had hair back then. What?
Yeah.
You're right. I'm gonna go to Tokyo with my son. Thanks, boo. Bye. Shit. How does this turn off? Oh my God, who's gonna cut off the lights? Bro, I was kidding, Veronica. Where's the power button? Oh my God! Oh no! Oh no!
She was like,
None of this matters though, Veronica.
wow.
Girl, that's funny.
Oh, gosh, I like
You weren't finished.
Love is.
love. ... Obviously not valued. No, just kidding.
Hello?
You don't have but a few minutes to finish interviewing her
Okay.
about other stuff.
I wasn't the one that rushed you.
Other stuff.
I wasn't the one that rushed you.
I'm not rushing. I'm
Love
just
is everything, though. Love is the foundation.
Right.
I'm sorry.
You're trying to make me cry.
That's crazy.
I
have a
messed up my
question.
You don't stop.
I do have a question. With everything that you've been doing, and with the industry, it is not easy. And you speak of it as if everything that you're doing comes to you just with ease. Is there at any point that you were like, I don't want to do this anymore?
I've never felt like I don't want to do it anymore. I think that there's duality in everything. And so in my business, you have the creative structure, then you have the business structure. And I think the most challenging part, hands down, has been the business structure because it can be unyielding and unforgiving and so unpredictable, and it can beat you down. Yes. But the art, if you are in my business for the right reasons, you stay rooted, you stay connected, and that always sustains you through your nose. It's because I can create art no matter if you tell me yes or no.
Right.
And now we live in this wonderful age where I can collaborate with another artist. I have this social media platform that I can put material up on if I want to. I have competitions that I can enter and actually have discussions with other people about what I do. I have stages I can perform on.
Game changer.
I will always work.
Yes.
Right.
I will always work. Now, it's just a matter of talking business with some folks. And so I've been discouraged, yes. I felt unappreciated, yes. But then when you go back to the root of it, you're wise. It's just a fire that comes up again. It's something that you can never leave alone.
Awesome.
In this generation, what are the pros and cons to entering the entertainment business?
I think in this generation, I'm going to start with the con. The con is lack of self-identity.
Yes.
It's such a quick, instant rise that people don't understand that you can fall like that too. And so people are looking for themselves in a make-believe world. You know, it's a thrilling adventure to be able to tell these stories and to create stories and do them well and connect with people. But you can't let the opportunity be your validation as a human being.
Right.
You know, you are who you are when the job comes, when that particular job doesn't come, and you have to be who you are first. You're human first. Right. That's the con, because it's the social media thing. Everything is so fast, and you're only as good as what you're doing now, and you're only as good as how many people like you on Instagram. Not even in real life.
Right.
Like I've met quite a few people who are sleeping in cars or in floors or got like 6 to a room, but they got like a lot of followers. More than me. You know what I'm saying? And so the priorities can be a little jacked up. Mm-hmm. The pro will always be an outlet, an expression. The art is always a pro. The art itself is always a pro. And I think that anyone who gets to connect and express themselves through this medium is a gift to the world. Right. I really, really do.
Mm-hmm. What sets you apart from other actors and actresses?
What sets me apart is... say it again.
Unique.
Oh, unique. Well, I don't know. People don't. I know a lot. You know, I just found out that people don't know that I speak Spanish, that I ride horses, and that I studied archery. It's like some random stuff. And I have an MMA and kickboxing certification. So I should probably let y'all know that. So just look for some like. So if somebody wants to write something about a black cowgirl who, you know, kills zombies in the Dominican Republic with a bow, a crossbow. Holler!
And ask.
We can work out.
Plays the clarinet.
Back
Plays the clarinet on that horse.
It's been a minute for the clarinet, but we can do like a piano overture or something, you know. Piano. But I'm just saying, like, these are things that set you apart. Anything that sets you apart. I worked as a professional dancer too, so bah.
Imagine she stopped blowing the clarinet, speak Spanish.
Aha.
You know,
mi amor, corazón.
Yeah. But I think that the best thing, in addition to all those, you know, very real talents, I really think freedom. Like, I am fearless. Like, I will go there.
I can tell.
I don't judge the character. I feel like everybody's feelings and stories are valid, no matter how wrong and, you know, nature we may think they are. Everybody has a story that is going to allow a necessary peak, you know, to someone.
Right.
A pedophile, a murderer, you know, a historical figure. Everybody has a story, and I think it's important that we're able to navigate the psychology of other human beings. Right. You know, and so...
Because we never learn about these people and how to combat these people if we never let them tell the story.
Exactly. There you go. And so I'm not afraid. I truly believe that's what makes me unique, and that's what has kept me alive, at least in my field today, and growing. You know, I'm not afraid to grow either. I'm not afraid to learn. I always want to learn. I'm always a student, forever a student. That's really sometimes that can be, hard to come by in my business. A lot of people think they know it all, but there are a lot of beautiful artists out here, and also I'm connected to the art more so than the image. Right. I'll always be an artist, and I truly feel that's what makes me unique, because it's like an old soul kind of thing, it's a spirit, it's an energy in the art that you don't typically find anymore.
Right.
Love it.
That's beautiful.
So are you going to take your acting career further, like a long way?
Hell yeah. Who on this line?
And dancing.
Yeah.
Nikki, what do you have going on right now?
Okay, so I am going into production on a film that I wrote called What Love Revealed.
Oh.
Yes, and so
what's that about?
What Love Revealed is about how our individual experiences in love affect how we love each other in relationships.
Good. That's good.
Yeah. And
Absent.
That's good stuff.
But here's the thing. It's gonna make you ask, well, why do I have the feelings or reservations on love that I have now? What's the root of that? Let me take it back, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so it explores a relationship from its inception to its end. And it takes you really through the course. And so you get to see a little bit of her backstory, a little bit of his backstory, how they come together, how they navigate their first issue, which is important because they bring their own individual stuff to this. And that determines how they're going to handle this issue and how they survive, or if they survive.
That's the key.
Yeah. And so we have all these emotional, I love like what's happening now. We are talking more about mental health and emotional health. And I think that we need more art and music and films that permit conversation and that make it okay for us to feel again. Because I think that we're living in this culture where it's just kind of cool to discard somebody. Everybody's disposable. Right. And so we need to bring back the humanity.
Absolutely.
And art is, to me, the only medium that really does that. It's the only medium that everybody understands. It's a universal language. No matter your race, no matter your age, no matter your economic bracket, art brings everybody together and disarms you in a way that allows a seed to be planted and for conversations to be started. And so what I hope to see with this film, and it's in the very, very early stages, but I want to prep everybody because I believe it's going to have a huge impact. It allows people to just open up these conversations so we can start self-healing,
Yeah.
And as we have strong individuals, then we can have stronger communities and a stronger impact. And maybe we'll see less, mental problems and emotional problems with people too.
I love it.
And more communication and love.
Yes.
So.
What else do you have coming up?
Okay.
I want to get everything out there.
That was good. All right. Okay, so there are some other things in the works. Right now, I'm just focusing on creating my own content and loving being a new writer and a writer that just, got a partnership with another production company. Awesome. And I'm being brought on as a producer as well. So I'm just loving expanding, in my creative role into other aspects that will allow me to really take advantage of this information age. So yes, I'm an actress and I work as an actress, but now I can actually create my own content.
Wow.
Right.
And I actually have a way and people who believe in me enough to help me get it to the masses. And so that's definitely what I have going on. And there are some things out, though, you can check out. Till Love Comes. You can actually Google that. That's available for rent or purchase. You can find that. It's a hilarious romantic comedy. I did it a while ago, but it's something that kind of had a resurgence, and I think you guys would enjoy it. It's nice. It's nice. And then there's some other things on the festival circuit that are winning awards and making a name. A lot of people don't realize it, but the festival circuit is where a lot of films, before it hits the major theaters, make a name for themselves, And so I just appreciate the littlest of accomplishments, and I try to just find a win in every day. And so I'm just thankful for the things I have been a part of and look forward to more to come.
Nice.
So.
All right, Nikki, tell us where we can find you on social media.
At official Nikki Lachey. I'm like excited about everything.
Down version.
I know, man. Okay, so on Instagram at official Nikki Lachey, and it's really Nikki Lachey on everything, so I can remember it. So Facebook, Nikki Lachey. Twitter, Nikki Lachey. And that's it.
Everywhere.
Laddeez, where can we find you?
On MSK Loose Lip Show, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And we also have this group. Like, seriously, it's like incredible. All we do is talk about sex. Seriously. It's a group on Facebook. Like,
Black
it's really
Storm.
good. Yes, and Black Storm, Black Love. It is Black History Month, and I always say we celebrate Black history every single day. So, Lady D.
Yes, we do.
My glam.
Lady D's in Lakewood. No, I was kidding. Lady D's on Facebook. I mean, no, I'm not on Facebook. Doris Jean Drew on Facebook. Lady D's on Twitter and Instagram.
Come get y'all free oranges from Lakewood.
Girlies.
Let me know. I'm lying. That's $3 a pop.
We got orange tree.
$3 for 3 oranges. Call me. Let me know. I lied. $5 for 5 oranges. Let me know.
$1 an orange.
I'm getting some free oranges. I'm coming.
Y'all gotta pay from now on.
Nothing's
We're growing
free.
too many of these goods on our tree.
Why?
Check out my tree song next week during the break. Find me on Instagram at hey.6, HAI.6, and on Facebook at Hailey Bell Lindsay, BALE, not BEL like the princess. Please don't forget the I in my name. There's a HAILEY, not Holly. Anyway,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You're so-
Easy K Show.